Hey, welcome back. I'm going to be talking about how to condense your makeup routine down today to be very minimalist, very easy, user-friendly, something that is just not going to be complicated or overwhelming. This can be for those of you who are starting out with makeup. It can be for those of you who have a massive collection. If you're someone that has a massive collection and you feel like you just want to start condensing things, you can still take these tips and these products and kind of hone them in and focus them to what you have in your actual collection. So this is just something that I find myself doing. I have like this personal pod of products that are just like my minimal go-to, my essentials basically that I need and that give me effective and everyday friendly makeup looks. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about everything from brushes to products to just tips in general for condensing your routine to be user-friendly. And this is not, now let me, before like the actual minimalists come for me on this video, I want to make it very clear, this is not like an actual, if you are a hardcore minimalist, like lifestyle minimalist. I'm using the word minimal to literally phrase the least amount of products that you could have in your collection. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an actual minimalist, like just don't come for me. Don't come for me. Right. Okay. I want to start out with brushes. Brushes are something that definitely take up a lot of space in a makeup collection. And not only that, when you travel with brushes, I feel like when I travel with my makeup bag, they take up like 80% of the bag. So last year, I really challenged myself to find good multitasking brushes that could basically do it all. And I have a few staples that I definitely want to recommend to you, but just overall in general, when it comes to your brushes, if you have a large collection right now, go through, figure out the ones that are your most used, and then figure out of that collection which ones are the most multitasking, which ones you can use for concealer, blush, bronzer, like a whole face routine, which ones you can use for a full eye look. For me, the most versatile brush in my collection is the Real Techniques setting brush. I can do an entire face look, and when I say entire, I'm talking from face to eyes. I can do my makeup with this brush, and if you want to see it in full action, I do have a video showing how you can use this to basically create a full face look. But this is something that saves me so much space, and I just look at it and I'm relieved because I know it can do it all for my face, if that makes sense. So this little guy right here has basically kept me from having to use a foundation brush and then a concealer brush and then something for my blush and bronzer. All I have to do, if there is excess product left on the brush, just take a little bit of brush cleaner, water, or sometimes I literally, most of the time, will just rub this on the back of my hand to get excess product on, and I move on to my next step. It is so user-friendly. I cannot recommend it enough. Also very affordable. So this is one to look into if you do not have this in your collection yet. So the only thing I really don't like using this brush for, and this is so ironic because it's in the name, it's called a setting brush, but I don't particularly love setting my makeup with this. I don't know why. I just never enjoyed using this brush with powders. So I will just bring along an actual powder brush, or if I'm trying to, keep my brushes very minimal, I'll just use just any powder brush. This is the Real Techniques blush brush. Just anything you have in your collection that is made for powder. It can be small, it can be a big brush, whatever you feel you use most for powder. I still think that these larger style brushes are useful, especially if you're still working with like powder bronzer and powder blushes. But I just prefer something a little bit larger because if I am going to be setting my face, especially along this area, I really need something that can fit there. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to just take this and like dab powder all over my face. You know what I'm saying? I know it's really just meant to like set the T-zone area, but everyone needs a good powder brush. This is a MAC 217 brush. We all know my firm belief in this eye brush. I think that if you have this in your collection, you truthfully don't need any other eye makeup brush. It's again kind of like the smaller version of the setting brush, more tapered for the eye area, but I create entire eyeshadow looks just using this brush. And I've said this in so many videos, but it's really stuck with me throughout the years. When this was probably like at least 6 years ago, there was a regional trainer at MAC in Nashville at the Green Hills Mall. He was phenomenal. I learned a lot from him, especially when it came to MAC products. But we were joking around, and I was like, "Gosh, you can, use a 217 to create a full eye look." And he looked me dead in the eye, and he was like, "Eye look?" He was like, "Honey, you can use a 217 to create a full face look." And it just really stuck with me because you know what? He was right. This is just such a great versatile brush. Now, you don't have to go and splurge at MAC on a 217. I will put the Morphe equivalent to this brush down below, but just something with this particular shape. You can blend with it. You can apply pressed pigments with it. You can apply a quick base shadow. You can smudge the lash line with it. It is just so versatile in its shape and its quality that, yeah, if I could just pick one eye brush, it would be this guy. The second thing I want to talk about is in regards to your base. So this is a method that I've been using for quite a few years now, and it's just something that really prevents you from being tempted to buy different foundations for different reasons. So for a long time, I was kind of stuck in this cycle where I felt like I needed to have a full coverage foundation for, like events and when I wanted to do like a really heavy makeup look. I felt like I needed to have a medium coverage foundation for everyday wear, and then like a tinted moisturizer or BB cream for the summertime and for lighter coverage looks. I no longer, absolutely no longer follow that type of thinking or that type of collecting, shall we say, for my routine. Instead, I started implementing this method I like to just call sheer to full method. And what that is basically having a really sheer coverage product for your base, nothing that exceeds a light coverage, and then using a full coverage concealer. So the example I have here today is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. I use this in a ton of videos. It's labeled as a skin tint, and it is exactly that. It's very light coverage, it's very breathable, and with having a sheer base like this, I can, yes, on those days when I want just super light coverage, just something that's wearable, gives me a bit of color, this is perfect for that. But if I need more coverage, if I have a breakout, if I want to do a more full-on makeup look, having a concealer that is in the full coverage realm will cover that for me. So basically, I give myself a nice even base with my skin tint, and then I can customize my coverage with my concealer. Now, this is just, the Studio Finish Concealer is just an example. I love this one. I've been using it for years. It's a really nice medium full coverage concealer. I know a lot of people like NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, just whatever concealer you've tried in the past that has a decent amount of coverage to it or a coverage you feel comfortable with. I would definitely recommend using that. I personally love pot concealers or stick concealers for this type of method just because I think that they layer really nicely on top of sheer products. So yeah, this is just a way to really prevent you from feeling like you need a ton of base products to do different looks with. The third thing I wanted to talk about is probably going to be a 50-50 mix. I feel like some people have deep opinions on this. Some people kind of have more of my philosophy on it, but that's primer is not necessary for every single person. Really, I truly think the only people who benefit from primers are those with very textured skin or enlarged pores and also extremely oily skin. There are some great mattifying primers out there, and there are some really great pore filling primers. If you fall in like the combination, the dry category especially, I firmly believe that whatever moisturizer you use for your daily moisturizer is going to work perfectly fine for you. Especially with hydrating primers, if you actually just look at the ingredients, it's just the exact same formulation as using a standard moisturizer on your skin. So just to save money and to eliminate an extra step, again, I don't think primer is necessary for every single person. You got textured skin, you got oily skin, yes, they can be phenomenal. Otherwise, just give it a try and see if you truly notice a difference in your makeup. Stick makeup. Once you have realized the user friendliness and just how amazing stick products can be, basically just in a user-friendly sense. I'm not even talking about like all the amazing brands out there that do awesome stick products. Once you truly realize how easy it is to apply them and travel with them, I think you'll really be sold on looking into a lot of stick-friendly brands. So a few that I mention frequently on my channel, of course, for quite a few years now, I've been using NudeStix. I feel like they are a pretty good pioneer in the stick makeup world. They have some great user-friendly and travel-friendly stick products. Fenty Beauty, this is a newer one for me. I don't know why I held off for so long trying these, but they really are nice. The matchsticks from Fenty Beauty, they are magnetic, and you kind of just build your collection with these. They make a bronzer, a blush / highlighter, and then also several different skin tone shades that you can use as just like an overall base, as a highlighting stick, as a concealer stick, just multi-purpose sticks from Fenty Beauty basically, and they come in a lot of colors, a lot of shades, and then also the fact that they are magnetic and so travel friendly. Love that about them. Milk makeup, we cannot forget my love for Milk. Their bronzer is just hands down one of my all-time favorite makeup products in general. So fast to apply, so user-friendly. They make really chubby blush sticks that are really nice. Just all of their stuff in general, very easy to apply and very easy to travel with. So yeah, with all that being said, I just firmly believe that once you add just a couple of stick products to your makeup collection, let's say like a stick blush, you can truly see like how versatile they are and how you can manipulate them into multiple things as not only just like a blush, but also a lip color, also an eye color, and then it just eliminates, one extra step or adding another product to your routine. Let's talk about eyes and brows very briefly here because this is pretty subjective. It's really just going to depend on what you already have in your collection or what you're going to be looking for shopping wise. So I think one of the most versatile and user-friendly brow products are tinted brow gels or fibrous brow gels. The most common one that I use is Glossier Boy Brow. I actually just ordered the M Cosmetics one because a few of you all had recommended it, and Samantha Ravindal said that she actually prefers it now over the Boy Brow, which is a pretty bold statement. I've been using Boy Brow for quite some time now, but this is, as of right now, the one that I use most, and it's just so easy to use. It has little brow fibers already in it, and it fills in sparse areas. It gives you a bit of color, but it doesn't cause you to go overboard with your brows. So if you're looking to really eliminate down on brow products, this is something to start using and looking into, especially if you already have a decent amount of brow going on. If you already have moderately full brows, this is something you can definitely get away with. And then as far as eyeshadows go, you all know my take on eyeshadows. I mean, there's nothing more user-friendly than a stick or cream eyeshadow. So I just want to show you this for reference. These are all of my stick and cream eyeshadows, okay? They literally fit in one small portable cosmetic makeup bag. Think of how many makeup bags I would have to bring, let's just say if I was traveling, for all of the eyeshadow palettes that are in my collection. It just makes so much more sense that you have 3 or 4 of these guys that can be so versatile. They can be worn as eyeliner, they can be worn as a sheer wash on the lid, or you can literally create an entire I look with these. I know as far as like the Laura Mercier and Bobbi Brown ones that I use in videos, those are more of an investment, but CoverGirl actually makes some, which I've talked about quite frequently. Ulta, I just recently tried one of Ulta's cream shadow sticks, and it's just so, I look at this bag, and even though I have tons of colors in here, I look at it every single day and I am inspired to create different looks. I'm not overwhelmed when I open my eyeshadow or my eyeshadow palette drawer in the back there, and I have like 20 eyeshadow palettes. I just look and I'm like, half of you guys have the same colors in them. Also, I don't want to have to use like 30 different brushes. You know what I'm saying? With the cream eyeshadows, I literally can get away most of the time with using one brush, two max. So you all know my stance for eyes and eyeshadow. It's always going to be these guys. Okay, my last recommendation for those of you who are wanting to create more of a minimalist vibe to your routine, definitely start looking into brands that consciously create products that are made for travel, made for people who have smaller spaces, that are multitask friendly. There's several brands that I want to try in 2020 that have this type of vibe with their products, that really make a conscious effort to look into their demographic and what their consumers are wanting. And one of those brands, it's a brand that several of you all have recommended to me, but it's Trini London. And I have been on their website and I've created stuff, and I just can't narrow down like the shades that I want, but they basically make these little stacks of makeup, and they're very small. I think they're like this small. It's just little pots of cream makeup, and they have everything from eyeshadow to blush to concealer to foundation, and I just think that's really cool. That's a very innovative thing. I think it's a very futuristic thing. Here in just a few years, I think we're really going to see a shift in the makeup industry and how people are wearing their makeup. And I think that's just a really cool vibe. So just looking into those brands. I mean, again, like the Fenty Matchsticks, super user-friendly. Milk Makeup, awesome brand for user-friendly products, for storing in small spaces. It just seems very simple, but I just wanted to throw that out there, and I'm going to have all of my recommendations down below for all of these categories and all of these brands to help you guys out. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you some ideas and some ways to start condensing and creating a routine that is not only more minimalistic, but also just more effective. I mean, I really feel like once I started condensing my products, my just overall, even though I've been doing makeup for 10 years now, I've really felt like just by honing in on having a smaller collection really made me hone in on the ability of my skills and what I could do with even a limited amount of products. And I feel like I've really grown from that, not only as an artist, but as a content creator. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions for me, leave them down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.